Brenda was the father of your child. I know this because you and Dante Falconeri publicly admitted the truth to the guests at the wedding. You will now tell me all about my grandchild, beginning with the names of his adoptive parents and where he lives.
You made Sonny believe that I'm dead for a child that doesn't exist.
Don't worry about retaliation, Bernie. Listen, I'm asking you to handle it. That's all I'm asking.
Sonny, the cops are on this. I'm doing all I can.
Yeah, well, so am I.
Searching for Brenda does not give you the right to turn this city into a war zone.
Watch me.
Hey.
Hey. You look nice.
I have a job interview in an hour. Receptionist at an ad agency.
Oh, yeah?
Can you see me answering phones?
Oh, of course. You got a great speaking voice.
Thanks. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm just grabbing a quick coffee. I don't want to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're not. I've been staring at the same sentence for 10 minutes right now.
Okay. How's Sam?
Well, she lost her hearing in the explosion. Hopefully it's not permanent, but they don't know yet.
I hope she'll be okay. What about Brenda? I mean, any clues as to where Theo took her?
My dad got a hold of this guy who works for Theo.
Okay, I'm kind of surprised that your dad would want you involved.
He doesn't. This guy, Butler, he took my mom hostage, right? And they were at my mom's house, and my dad showed up, and by the time I got there, he was tied to a chair, and my parents were yelling. My mom claimed that he didn't know anything.
Oh, it sounds like your mom was a little quick to defend the guy who kidnapped her.
Yeah, my dad thought so too. He wanted me and my mom to leave, but I knew if I didn't, if I would have stayed there, that he probably wouldn't have hurt Sean, but Dante showed up and he had to go.
Okay, so basically you saved this guy's life.
Yeah, but what if this guy had information that could have saved Brenda, and because of me, they'll never find her?
I had a miscarriage when I was 7 months pregnant.
You wanted to hide the child from me, and that's exactly what you did.
You're right, I did. But my son didn't survive.
You put the baby up for adoption. You dumped him off like some inconvenient baggage and went on with your frivolous life.
You're delusional.
You took my son, but you will not deprive me of my grandson.
Hey, you have any idea where the bartender is? Because I'm supposed to get Kate an iced tea.
No, I haven't seen him since he dropped this off, but I really haven't been paying much attention.
Bloody Mary?
Tomato juice. It's supposed to boost your electrolytes.
Wow. Well, I could use one of those because my latte's starting to wear off.
All night.
Are you being sarcastic? Because I can't tell.
I'm under the impression that I missed something.
You haven't read a newspaper. You haven't seen the news?
I honestly was so blurry-eyed when I woke up this morning, I couldn't really pay attention to anything. And as you know, I have a tendency to be a little self-absorbed, so if my ignorance has caused any offense, I apologize.
Well, you know that Sonny and Brenda got married last night, right?
Yeah, that's the hangover. The thought of that rat bastard marrying some trophy while my sister rots away in the ground gives me a taste so bitter in my mouth that the only thing I can think of to get rid of it is drink it away.
Well, I don't think that Sonny will be enjoying himself too much because someone put a bomb in his limo.
Crap.
No, nobody died. Brenda was kidnapped. And they think it was by a man named Theo Hoffman, who's also known as the Balkan.
Wow. Do I feel like an ass? Not that I have any sympathy to spare for Sonny, but I'd hate to see anything happen to Brenda. Oh, so this bomb was a diversion?
Yeah. When I got there, the limo was in flames, and it took a while for them to put out the fire and get the car open, and everyone's standing around. Sonny's going out of his mind with grief. We all think that Brenda's in the back, but it wasn't her, it was Sam.
I'm sorry, I must have missed
There was a
something.
switch, and Sam was in the back of the car, but she wasn't burned because the car's bomb-proofed, and no one knows how Sam got there or how Brenda was kidnapped.
So this Theo replaced Sam for Brenda, And if he didn't know that the car was bomb-proof, then he was expecting...
Sam to be burned beyond recognition, yeah. Nice, right?
Is she okay?
Yeah, she just has some hearing loss, I think, and she's in the hospital. I mean, it's better than being dead.
You want to know what's really strange about everything you just told me?
Other than a car exploding, a woman almost being burned to death, and another woman being kidnapped?
Nothing happened to Sonny.
Well, Sonny
Was out of his mind, I heard. Which happens fairly often. Things happen, Sonny flips out, screams, yells, makes accusations, and when the dust finally settles, lives are destroyed or people are dead. Sonny goes on with his life, business as usual.
You're either with me or against me.
I'm against you breaking the law to search for Brenda.
Theo did not bring in his own army. He cut a deal with one of the families, or he used a local, but either way, we're talking about a sick, freaky individual here. And if all they did was steal a van to transport Brenda or rent a safe house so Theo can keep her, somebody knows something.
And the PCPD will squeeze every major player in this town.
I don't want to use the cops! I'm done with cops!
Well, this is the problem.
This is my wife we're talking about.
Great, Sonny, this is the problem. You're too close to this. You can't be involved. You're overcome with worry. You're gonna take it out on the first person that you find.
Look, I have to have information, right? And I'm gonna get it, no matter what.
Okay. Your fear for Brenda does not give you the right to go and break skulls and hurt innocent people.
Why is it that you only choose to go by the book when it's somebody innocent like Michael or Brenda are gonna suffer for it?
Messages, all from business associates. You want to guess what they're about?
Not a clue.
Sonny doesn't play helpless very well. He's going to want to take action, right? Even if it's wrong. He's probably shaking down every guy in the city, trying to see if one's going to roll over. The problem is, none of these guys have probably even heard of the Balkan or Theo Hoffman.
You know all this without checking a message?
You remember when your boss was shot, right? Not the day that she tried to marry Sonny. No, that was courtesy of my father, the cuddly little lunatic that he is. No, I'm talking about the day that she was shot on the waterfront, and Sonny jumped and accused me of doing it and taking Michael hostage for good measure. Remember, I was given a 3-week all-expense-paid vacation to a padded cell with amenities like daily beatings. My point is, Sonny didn't take the time to find out if I was actually responsible. He needed an ass to kick, and mine was there. I don't see him changing his tactics. He's gonna wage an all-out war in this city, and... well, the only thing that he's gonna get is gratification for his massive ego.
I owe you an apology.
For what?
For forgetting what you've been through and putting it in the back of my mind. You do these crazy and reckless things and you seem callous and unfeeling, and I wonder, what do you have to be so pissed off about? But the truth is, you've been through a lot of horrible stuff. And you've lost a lot of people that you love, and no one has the right to judge you, least of all me.
Well, truthfully, the fact that you even think about me at all these days is flattering.
What? Of course I care about you. You were a big part of my life.
You were a big part of mine. It still doesn't sit well with me the way I ended things. It wasn't fair to you.
Well, look, I wasn't crazy about the fact that you claimed you wanted to be with Maxie, but eventually I understood that you let me go because you didn't think that you were good for me.
It wasn't.
You were better than you think. I'm glad that we were together. I matured a lot. I got to work out a lot of issues, and by letting me go when you did, I was able to meet Dante, and we're crazy about each other. You helped me get there, and I'm grateful.
Well, if I did anything good for you at all, Lulu, I'm the one who's grateful. All right, I should get back to these messages, huh? And find out how I'm gonna avoid an all-out war with Sonny.
Oh, good luck with that.
Thanks. I might need it.
All right, be careful.
What's the fun in that?
My dad wanted answers out of this guy, and I'm the reason you didn't get them.
You did what you thought was right.
I just think about my dad and how he would do anything it took to find Brenda, and I get that. If you were held hostage by some psycho that can kill you at any single second, I would do anything it took to find you, so I understand.
I don't believe that.
Oh, you think I just leave you in danger?
No, I think that you would risk your life. But I don't believe for a second that you would tie someone to a chair and threaten them with God knows what. You have a conscience. That's a good thing.
Yeah, unless you get somebody killed.
Michael, look, I know how hard it must have been to go against your father, but you did it because you love him. And because you couldn't stand the idea of this guy, Sean, being brutalized. It's probably because of what happened to you in prison.
Oh, it's totally different.
Was it? This guy, Sean, was trapped. So were you.
So basically, I'm more screwed up than I even realized.
Look, it is not screwed up to show empathy and compassion. When some people are hurt, they deal with it by inflicting pain on others. You did the opposite. You couldn't stand by and just watch anyone get hurt. I respect that so much. And I know that your dad does too.
Sorry. That was a cheap shot.
I didn't come here to fight with you, Sonny. I'm warning you to back off before you make things worse.
Well, we're going around in circles because, can we just talk about something that we can agree on? I want you to, if you can, help Michael and Morgan because they saw things that night that I never wanted them to see. I'm gonna find Brenda, whatever it takes. And I know you want to help, but you don't want to compromise your badge. So I'm asking you to take a leave of absence. Go on a vacation with Lulu, and I'll pay the tab.
You seriously want me to go sit on a beach somewhere, watch the sunset while you stick around town murdering people?
Yes.
When did you first realize you were pregnant with Alexander's child?
Right about the same time that I realized that your son was lying to me about who he is. That he was a sick and twisted criminal.
It would be wise to avoid such commentary.
Your son followed me to New York. He stalked me, and then he almost killed a police officer.
The baby, Mrs. Corinthos.
Dante did sign a paper claiming to be the father and giving me full custody so that I could take my baby back to Rome and raise him myself.
And why did you alter the plan?
I didn't alter the plan. I needed to go to Africa on a charity trip, and I asked the doctor, and the doctor told me that it was safe for me to travel. And when I got to Africa, I got sick. And I had a very high fever. And then I passed out. And when I woke up, I realized that I had had a miscarriage. And that my son was gone.
Were there any witnesses? Any attendants? Surely the great supermodel didn't fly off to Africa and miscarry all alone.
I was with the director of my charity, Suzanne Stanwyck.